Alright, so greatest common divisor has an analogous quantity or a dual quantity that we can say is called as the least common multiples. Okay, so the least common multiple similarly, just similar to the greatest common divisor, is defined for two or more numbers. So we start off with the definition of the least common multiple for two integers in this case. So let's say we have two integers a and b, and we assume that both are positive integers. Okay, then it is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by both a and b. So it's generally a number which is larger than both a and b, usually, or at most equal to the bigger of the both, if both of them are multiples of each other. So the greatest common divisor is usually a number smaller than a and b, or at most equal to the smaller of the two, while the least common multiple is a number which is bigger than the integers a and b, or at most equal to the bigger number. Okay, so we denote the least common multiple by this abbreviation LCM, where L denotes least, C denotes common, and M denotes multiple. Okay, so here we have examples of the least common multiple. The least common multiple of 3 and 7, which are two prime numbers, is actually the product of the two numbers. Why? Because if you read the table of 3 and 7, the first time they have something in common is when the multiple is 21. For example, 3 times 7 is 21 and 7 times 3 is 21. The table of 3 and 7 have nothing in common before that entry. So that's why the common multiple between them, the smallest of them, is 21. Another multiple that is common between these two numbers is 42, and similarly 63 and 84, but they are not the smallest one. Okay, so for the least common multiple, we need the smallest such integer, which is the multiple of both a and b. Let's now look at the second example, LCM of 4 and 6. In this case, if we read the table of 4, we have 4, 8 and 12, and similarly the table of 6 also contains 12. So, and 12 is the first such number which appears as a multiple of both 4 and 6. So it's a common multiple, and the smallest multiple of 4, smallest common multiple of 4 and 6 is the value 12. In this case, we have one number as the multiple of other, so the bigger number will be the least common multiple of the two numbers.